Welcome back. Welcome back to Rants and Gems. This is Matt Garland, NMLS number 58700, but better known as MG the Mortgage Guy.
And my name is Kiana Watson, license number 317576, your broker extraordinaire, checking in from ATL Shody.
Checking in from Wakanda. Christmas is
Yes,
over. New Year's is upon us. How the hell are you doing? Last show of the year, Kiana.
I am doing incredible, reached my goals personally, professionally, life's good, just out here rocking and rolling and, ready for the holidays. So I'm really ready to kind of wind down and kind of get my brain off autopilot so I can be refreshed for whatever new comes to Rants and Gems. I know we have big plans for Rants and Gems in 2023. So just that's really what I'm up to right now. What
Yes,
about
we
you?
we are in the cook. We are in the kitchen, cooking up, chefing up. Rants and Gems has so much in store for you guys. Stay tuned. New photos will hit the internet soon, and we're
Yes.
gonna break the internet with that. And we got so much other wonderful things happening, but we'll get into that at a later date. Now, before we even go any further, you know what you need to get for the holidays: clear the
Always.
clothes and house economics. Make sure you guys pick up both of these books. Links will be in the description. Don't play yourself, okay? Don't play yourself.
Every time. Every time.
So, all right, we got an interesting show today. We're going to be talking about landlords, how to make more money in 2023. We got our partners over at Zillow that are sponsoring today's episode, and we're actually going to bring on one of their reps that's going to break down how landlords can really optimize and make more money in 2023. But first and foremost, have you ever catch yourself browsing Zillow at 3 a.m.? Same here. It is too easy. And you know what else is easy? Getting a new home on Zillow. That's right. With Zillow, you can take a closer look at homes that's been on the market with thousands of listings that have virtual tours, interactive floor plans, compare your favorite homes side by side to see which one has the features you want. You can request a tour with a local agent to get on-the-ground insights about the neighborhoods you like, and you can learn about your financing options and connect with the lender to pre-qualify. You can also get a pre-qualification from Zillow Mortgage as well. So when you find the home that you love, you'll be ready to go. So make sure you guys download the Zillow app or go to Zillow.com for more information. We love Zillow, and shout out to the whole Zillow team, especially for sponsoring today's episode. So let's get into this topic. You was telling me offline, Kiana, about an interesting article you read about the short-term rental market. Can you kind of go into that for our audience?
Sure. Absolutely. So AirDNA is a website that most people use to start doing projections on their short-term rentals and find out how much profits they can make. They just recently put out an article saying that rentals for the short-term market are down this quarter, and they're actually projecting that they'll continue to stay down going into 2023. So what does that mean for most people is if you have short-term rentals and they're already projecting that you're going to see a greater percentage and decrease in the occupancy rates, then what are you going to do with these rentals? And we always say, why can't we just stick to the basics sometimes, right? What is tried and true?
Long
Long term.
term, long term.
Exactly. So that will be the solution for those that are going to see themselves suffering from this market shift that's happening in the short term rentals, which leads us right into today's episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think the short-term rental market is definitely going to take a beating, and it's a lot of competition out there, especially because you got the arbitrage folks
Yes,
out there at scale. So I think we're going to see more laws that come into play over the next couple years. That's kind of going to probably hurt that business a little bit. But look, there's always going to be ways to make money, especially with short term,
oh,
even with midterm rentals. Like if you go into flight attendants, if you go into traveling nurses, things like that. I think those businesses will always be around because those industries are solid and always will
absolutely.
be solid. So I would say if you guys are in the Airbnb space, maybe start looking to transition into the traveling nurses or the flight attendants because that's going to give you more secure income if you are in that game. So diversify your
Exactly.
game, and make sure you cover all bases. All right, so let's bring on our special guest today. We're going to bring on our guy from Zillow. His name is Doyin. He is one of the team leads over there at the rental business. He oversees operations, analytics, and client supports. So let's bring on our guy Doyin from Zillow. Doyin, how are you today?
Hey Matt, nice to be here with you and Kiana. How's it going?
We're alive and we blessed.
Alive and blessed. Thank you for having us. Thank you for
Happy to be
coming
here.
on, and thank you guys for sponsoring us and being a part of Zillow and sharing such great information consistently. Our audience loves the data.
We're here. We're here to serve. We're here to serve.
So
Yeah.
let's start a first question, Doing. What is Zillow's outlook for the rental market in 2023?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show today. As far as outlook for 2022 and beyond, we feel the rental market is going to stay strong.
Hmm.
Interest rates continue to go up, as we've seen. Not too long ago, I believe you had Skylar on the show, and she dug into all the numbers as relates to that. And when you talk about rentals, long term, I heard you all just allude to that as well too. Long term is going to be the play. Now, as you look towards that, I think the focus would be how do you maximize your revenue and your investment is where I believe a lot of people should focus on because the buy market, sell side is a little bit soft at the moment. So how do you get the most out of your investment is what Zillow is pushing and working to enhance as we go into 23.
Okay, so when you're looking to help them enhance on that, are you gonna, when you're looking from a Zillow standpoint, do you guys like monitor the rental market rates and kind of help guide some landlords to where they should be pricing their properties at?
Absolutely. We do that. I mean, Zillow is the number one real estate marketplace in the country, hands down. Over 300 million plus people visited in Q3, right? And as we look at Q4, a lot more people are pushing onto that. And when you look at the rental space as well, over 70% of folks that rent share that they search on Zillow as one of their primary sources. And one of the areas where we're really pushing is both on the web as well as on mobile, right? Because you want to be able to meet folks at the different point of entries that they're looking at.
Mhm.
Um, we think the rental market is going to be strong as we move into that. We think it's still a pretty smart play to get into rentals. It's just how you get into it and what to expect as you get into it is what folks should really focus on.
So what are the top areas where you guys are seeing where rents are going to continue to increase? Because naturally, rents have come down a little bit from its peak over the past couple months, rightfully so, because it skyrocketed during the pandemic years. But it's still up and stuck, as we like to say here on
Correct.
Rants and Gems, right? It's
Yeah,
still, I
it
think,
is.
a one bedroom national average is still a little bit over $2,000. And
Correct.
that's high, right? So where do you see, like, which markets do you see rents continuing to increase next year?
Yeah, the first thing I would want to point folks to is if you go on Zillow.com, you can go to our resource page and you can drill down up to a zip code level to see what your rental market trends are or will be. So year over year, it's still about 9% increase from last year to about this year, November last year to this year. It has gone down from October to November about 0.4%. So it's dropped a little bit, but it's still 9% over. Now, the areas where we're starting to see some drops, I think it correlates to the areas where we saw big increases, like the big metro areas. When you talk about Austin, when you talk about the San Franciscos of the world, we're seeing a little bit of a drop in those areas. But when you talk about the areas that are still relatively affordable, Raleigh is an example. The Dallas area is still an example where rent prices are starting to creep up because most folks are starting to move to those areas from an affordability standpoint. But if you go on the resource page on Zillow.com, you can get what the trends are specifically for your market. and you can break it down by number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. You can see an overall trend by city, by state. All that information is available. So it's specific to different folks across the board. But from a high level standpoint, uh, the areas that crept up the fastest are where you're seeing drops, and then some of the affordable areas you're starting to see rents go up a little bit.
Hmm. That's great information. And so you're saying that people that are like landlords, the people that are looking to price their investment properties right now, they can go to the Zillow resources button and start seeing what like if they go and put the criteria of their property, then they'll be able to see what other people are demanding for their rent. Will they be able to see past renters as well? So not like what's on the market, but also be able to see, okay, these homes recently rented for this dollar amount.
Yes, we have that functionality on Zillow Rental Manager. So Zillow Rental Manager is a tool that we make available free to landlords. Like I said, it's available on the web. It's also available on mobile, iOS as well as Android. And you can go in there and see competitive analysis. It also has a lot of resources that helps you post acquiring your property to how you can list it, how you can secure folks, how you can get them moving, and then managing it post the person getting in. So Zillow Rental Manager is the place where you can go in and get all that information, Kiana.
That
So
is amazing. So you're giving them a free resource to
Yeah, we
price their
are.
property. Wow. Okay. Go
look,
ahead.
We are. We
speaking
are.
of the rental manager, are you able to kind of give us like a quick demo on this rental manager so that way our audience knows exactly how to get there, how to use it, and how to drill down with using the rental manager?
Absolutely, I can do that. And I think to take it one extra step, how about I show you from my direct phone that I have in my hand right here? You ready
Let's
to
do
do
it.
that?
Love it.
Even better. Even better.
All right, let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me one quick moment to pull that up. Let me
Take
know
notes,
when you can
guys. Take
see.
notes.
Let me know when you can see my screen. Give me one quick moment here.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, just going to pull it up. One moment while I pull that up. And I'm just working to share my screen really quickly.
Okay.
So,
There we go.
all right. And I'm sharing my direct phone with you. Give me a moment. I'm in the office.
Yep, we see it.
Okay. And so this right here is my phone. Do you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
And the app on the bottom left corner, that is the Zillow Rental Manager app. I'm going to click on this really quick. And this takes you to the homepage of it right when you're logged in. So you can see that this is a demo account that we've loaded up. You can
Okay.
see a property here listed 9823 Northeast 30th Street in Bellevue, Washington. You have the ability to list more if you have that. You can, while you're on the app, you can receive application leases as well too. So I'll just go through the bottom tabs really quickly to walk the folks through. So the hub is your homepage. The properties gives you access to the information that you have with your listing.
Mm-hmm.
Messages here, you're able to communicate with the folks that are interested, your high intent renters. And then your alerts lets you know if you have anything waiting for you across the board. So let's go back to the homepage really quickly and walk through this. Again, this app is available on the web. It's available on the web. It's also available on mobile. So I'll click on the 9823 property right here, the blue house. Over here, this property is active live and showing up available for rent. Over here, you're able to see that every listing that you have is published on Zillow, Trulia, and HubPads, and that's done for free. So you get highly engaged, high intent renters to come into your property. You can go in yourself and create a 3D tour. As you know, technology is one of the things you want to utilize as you push your property. You can go in and add in your videos as well as your photos, and then the listing information specific to your property. You can go in here and update a lot of that. The description piece is also another cool place where you can go in and add things that make your property unique relative to everybody else. Is it on a bus line? Is it available next to a fire station? Some of those things that are very, very important to folks. And then here's the where you enter the information for either the investor or the landlord. As you push forward to differentiate yourself, you can go in and upload or pick what amenities you have. This again is very important because folks get very, very specific, and you're able to get into a lot of this. Do you want pets? Do you have, is it furnished? Do you have wash and dry in unit? Is it just a hookup? All that information you're able to go in and update. And then as far as showing an availability, this is when you can go in and customize what time works for you, day of the week, the morning, afternoon, or evening as well too. So I'll pause and see if you have any questions just on how you list the property so far.
Nah, no questions at
Not
all
at
for me.
all. It seems very
All right.
straightforward. And I do like that they can request the availability. But what happens when they click the button and say, I want to see it this evening? What happens on the back end for the landlord?
So the landlords gets notified via message like this, and the landlord
Okay.
is able to respond back and forth, say, yes, I'm available, let's confirm it, or no, I'm not available, do you want to reschedule? But basically, the landlord already sets what time they're available. So once you click on it, it's just a confirmation saying, yes, I'll take that
Okay.
from you and push
How
Perfect.
forward.
important is it for landlords to use like the 3D tour option?
Well, you're not always available to show, right? And think about if you're a landlord or an investor that is in a different state. This gives the folks the ability to virtually look through the property on their own at their time and start planning things around furniture layout, color scheme, and how you want to set up the place once you move forward. So 3D is super important. As you know, when we went through COVID, not a lot of folks were able to interact in person, and having the ability to go through a 3D option helps your property list a lot quicker. So it is super important
So
to
when you
ensure that that's
upload to
updated.
when you upload to 3D as a landlord, we just put regular traditional pictures up there, and then Zillow's technology takes it from there.
Yeah, you can go in with your phone, click on that, and walk through and virtually create your own as you push through. Yes.
Okay.
All right. The next thing we want to talk about really quick is the application. So I'll click on this really quickly. We can see what in here you get two examples. There's an example of an application that's been received from Frodo Baggins, and then another one from Mike Bean that is approved. You can also share the link. So if you have folks that have either spoken with you directly and want a link to be able to apply to your property, you can share that directly from the app right here as well too by just clicking on those three dots next to share application link. So would you like to see what an application generates? You could pick either Frodo or Mike.
Yeah, let's do it.
Which one? Pick one of them.
Take Frodo. I want to see what the application does because as a realtor, time to time our clients want us to list their properties, but it looks like this would really like give the empowerment to the landlords to list and manage their own properties. Is that correct?
Yes, it will. So let's dive into Frodo and see what kind of information this brings back. So it takes a minute to just pop up. So with Frodo, you can see what you get. Frodo applied on December 13 at 2:38 p.m. You can see what the household income is relative to the rent. There's one person that will be the occupant. Right there, front and center, you can see Frodo has a pet. Put a little comment in there to help with the decision making. A small little dog that is lazy and won't scratch anything. And as you scroll down, you can see a lot of additional information specific to Frodo in this example. So you can also get access to the credit report, which is available for 30 days, as well as a background check. So would you like to see what information comes with either one of those two?
Of course, I want to see what I'm going to get. I mean, really talking to a lot of our independent landlords. So if they're going to use this service and it's free to them, they can see the credit report as well.
Yes, they can. So let's go ahead and check what information we get with Frodo's credit report. And we partner with Experian on this. Um, and information is just going to be right there for you to make your decision right off the bat. So again, this is dependent on your service provider. Again, I'm on my phone, so for other folks, the experience will be a lot faster. I'm on a 40th floor in a building, so just give it a minute to pop up. Let me try that one more time.
The
One quick
technology is being the
moment.
technology right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Technology is being technology.
We're in the
Technology. There we
technology business.
go.
There we go.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. So right here
Damn, to
you
see
can
a
see
617
Frodo's.
score.
You can see
Matt, first of
Frodo's.
all, they renting. Like what they getting themselves ready to buy. Like, come on now.
Hey, you can still get a loan.
Well,
That's why I
yep,
said
already.
the information you get helps with your decision making, and I think Matt made a decision right there based on that score. So
Absolutely.
you can see what payment history looks like for this individual, how much debt they have, and then as you scroll up, you can see additional information that shows Frodo has an auto loan, has had credit for well over 6 years, and all that information continues to generate. Again, pulled from this individual's credit report. You can see where they're employed, if they had bankruptcy. That's something that I think will be important as you make the decision on who you put into your property to help maximize your investment. So here's an example of what you get from that credit report. You also have the ability to print that as well too, if
Ooh,
you have information from this.
this is great. I love the
All
detailed
right, so I'll
information.
push.
Unlike Matt, I understand that things can happen in life sometimes with credit, but being able to look into their payment history is really important, and then also those addresses because you would want the addresses they put on the application to match the addresses that show up on the credit report. Speaking from a past property manager, so that way you can make sure they're being truthful in their history. So that also helps for a lot of our independent landlords using this app to really kind of see the best practices. I love this.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Let's go ahead and just click on the background check really quickly and see what information that pulls for this individual, Frodo. So again, this takes a minute, keeping all fingers crossed
Let's
for it to
see.
pull up. It's going to be worth the wait, I promise you.
I
It's going
hope
to be worth
Frodo,
the wait.
been out here just, minding their business and drinking their water.
Yeah,
let's see what's on your
Frodo,
background report.
Frodo moved from Pennsylvania to Texas, so let's see what comes up on Frodo's background report. How about this? I'll just push back and try it one more time just to see what pulls up with this. Just give it one quick minute. All right, here we go. Push this up so we can see from here. Frodo had one criminal record. You can see one housing court record is shown on there. Something from Oklahoma as an example.
Hmm.
And then as you scroll up, there's additional information that pulls from this person. They have one criminal history, but they're not a sex offender. But that information again is specific to Frodo. The additional things that you can drill if you wanted to see what some of those are for this person. So, do you both think this information would be good as a landlord looks to fill their unit?
Yeah,
I do. I think a
yeah.
landlord would love this information. It empowers them to see the full picture of their potential renters.
Absolutely. So I'll click out of here really quickly and take us back to, so that's the information you get from the application, and you could just take action from here. Do you want to move this person forward or do you want to just decline him? So in this example, Mike has already been selected. Mike's information, if you go to that, next things you can do is you can push towards getting a lease with Mike, or you can enable payments as well too. So I'll go back here and just go to the lease option really quickly. Now with this, you have the ability to utilize existing templates from leases that Zillow makes available. As you
Wow.
talk about maximizing your investment, you also have to be aware of what rights you have as a landlord and what rights your tenant has as a renter from you as well too. And we ensure that all that information is up to date and available for you to just utilize if you wanted to use our existing one, or you can upload yours as well too. So here are examples of what you get from a lease standpoint.
I
Interesting.
love that. So you're telling me as a landlord, I could list my own property, upload my own photos, direct to consumer, find my own renters, and vet them on this app, vet the information, go through it, and have a template of a lease agreement all for free.
In one place, yes.
Wow.
That's a home run for those landlords, especially like the mom and pop. Maybe you only have one property. You know, it's your house hacking. You know what I'm saying? Like would definitely help those folks out there. Even if you got a
Yeah.
couple properties and you self managing, I can see this being very beneficial for many people. Now that was just the landlord side of things, right? What about now? I'm a renter. Like, how does this app help me if I'm looking to find a place?
Yeah, so one last quick thing before we jump to that, you also can enable payments too, right? So you can have payments done from this same ZRM portal, either online or on mobile as well too. And all of this, like I said, is available free to the landlord. There is a paid option where you can get a premium feature where you get increased exposure for your property, as well as tits and bits and analytics that help show how your property is doing relative to others, both from a viewing and from a clicking all the way through pricing. That information is available. That is a $29 fee for landlords if you wanted the premium option of that. But everything we've touched on today is available for free all the way through to the payments as well. It's free if your renter uses an ACH check. If they choose to use a debit card and a credit card, there is a small processing fee that we utilize through either Stripe or Plaid, who are our partners on that side. So all of this on the landlord, the investor side. Now, Matt, to answer your question as relates to the renter goes on ZRM as well, creates a profile,
Mhm.
and that profile gives them access to view properties that are listed from this landlord or this investors to view. Now, if a renter wanted to apply, there is a one-time fee of $29, and that gives the access for that renter to apply for as many homes as they wanted on Zillow.com for free through a 30-day period. So it's
Yep.
$29.99 for the renter, but they have unlimited access to all properties listed on Zillow for rent for a
So
30-day
when
period.
so when the landlord pays the $29, that's for one listing, or is that gives you multiple listings?
That is for one listing on the premium feature, one listing.
And when you have the premium feature, that just means your listing is at the top of the page.
Yes, it's at the top of the page, and it gets increased exposure and every time. Yes,
Is that per zip code?
it's per property.
Okay. Okay.
So when the tenant pays by credit card, right, and you got to use Stripe, like how
Yes.
often are you guys paying? Are you following the Stripe rules? Because sometimes Stripe will take 24 hours, 48 hours. It just depends if it's a new Stripe um, customer. Stripe might hold the money for a certain period of time. So, like, how does that really work out for landlords if they pay by
Yeah,
credit
it
card?
takes yeah, it takes 2 to about 4 days to have it deposited in your account as a landlord. So what we encourage folks to do when you go to the payment option that we talked about a little bit earlier, you have the ability to add in auto pay,
Hmm.
whereby if you wanted the money deposited on X date, you could back into that date, factoring in the period that it takes for the processors to get that money over to your account. So we follow the Stripe rules, but there are filters that you as a landlord can set in with your renter to ensure that the funds are available in your account when you need them.
And ACH, if they did ACH from like a checking account, how long does that take for us to see that money on the landlord side?
It takes, it could be as quickly as 24 hours. Again, we try
Wow.
and give the 2 to 4 day timeline, just to ensure that the funds are there available to you, the landlord, when you need them. So again, going in and setting the timeline to ensure that you fall within that. But with an ACH, it could be as quickly as 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I think I love about this app itself, especially from the landlord side, um, they can basically self-manage and eliminate that
Yes.
extra 10 to 15% fee you would normally pay a property manager. But I always got to think, I'm just thinking a little further ahead, not saying that people not going to pay their rent, but sometimes people do not pay their rent. And coming from someone with a property management background, I used to file writ of possessions and evictions at the courthouse. Do you guys have any guidance for that for these self-managed properties beyond just collecting the rent? What happens if someone doesn't pay?
Yeah, so again, it goes back to something that I touched on earlier, right? You have all the information that you need to ensure that your property, you're following the guidelines and you know your rights as the landlord. Also,
Got it.
what rights are available for the tenants as well, too. So all of those are spelled out as far as what to expect in the lease that the person is signing. The other pieces of it that Zillow plays a huge role in is ensuring that your data and the integrity is top notch for us, right? So when you hear about rental scams all the time, right?
Yeah.
We go to great lengths as a company to police activities and to fully inform all of our users of an existence of a scam and how to protect themselves. My team actually also manages that. We monitor activities on the site
Hmm.
a number of different ways to ensure that we're staying ahead of what's happening. And even when we do find them, we're removing them immediately from the site across the board. So we try as best as possible to take the worry out of you to be able to maximize your investment.
I think this is an incredible app. I just think we also want to make sure that they are fully aware. This is going to help you market your listing, accept a qualified tenant, and accept payment. But beyond that, you have to be educated from a landlord perspective on the laws in your state when it comes to eviction law and being able to go the next level if for any reason you need to. But this is a
Yes.
great way for them to basically be empowered if they do understand the law to really take take it into their own hands and really take their leasing seriously. I'm not saying that realtors won't take it seriously, but I'm saying that it's really hard to find someone to really manage your property and help you acquire a qualified person without a certain compensation plan. So this will save the landlords a lot of money and they don't have to hire a realtor. They can just upload on the site and vet their own people and just do the footwork themselves.
I agree. I agree. I mean, Zillow Rentals is the number one most visited
Hmm.
network for real estate in the country. So that's something a landlord or an investor should be aware of. Over 390 million people were on the site, both on mobile as well as on the web in Q3, right?
Mm.
So that's something. If you want to engage with very, very high intent renters to fill your property quickly, that's where you want to make sure your property is featured on there. And then when you talk about the app itself, over 70%, and I think this is a critical number that folks who want to maximize their investment should think about. Over 70% of the applications that come in on the app have full profiles. So when you're seeing the
Wow.
credit score, when you're seeing the background check, over seven out of 10 have full profiles for you to make your decision and fill that unit really, really quickly. So again, those are those are things that I think we all should think about as we go about
Oh,
putting
yes.
our property out there
No,
and trying
that's
to grow.
that's that's huge. Now let me ask you. So this app can help us screen our tenants. can help us
Yes.
make the right decision, can help us with leases, payment setups with the tenants, etc. But can this app help us now once that tenant moves in and the sink is broken or they clog the toilet, right? Will the tenant be able to go on the app and request repairs from the landlord?
That's good.
So interesting. I like that. So I'll tease you with some of the things that we have coming in 2023.
Talk
Our
to us,
goal
Doyin. We
is to
need the
expand.
exclusive here. We need the exclusive.
Yeah, this is exclusive. This is exclusive. We have very, very big plans to expand Zillow Rental Manager as a platform to do more than just helping you acquiring a listing and vetting and all of that. So at this moment, you can communicate via the app, as we saw in the communication, the messages feature of it. We're working on it, Matt, is what I would tell you on this. We're working on it to help independent operators to manage their property. So, an example is what you just talked about with the sink. We're working on it. It's coming very, very soon.
But
We're
from a
working on it. We're
communication
working on it.
standpoint, you can have your tenants go in there. Hey, instead of texting me or anything like that, communicate with me via the app. So that way, if I got to evict you in the future, I have all my records. It's a system. It's like a CRM almost, right? I can keep all my records every time you ask me something. It can show my timeline of responding back to you, et cetera, et cetera. So now if I got to be in front of a judge, I can just kind of print this out and say, Judge, look, this is what I've been doing with this tenant, and they're non-responsive, right? So right now we can use it for communication, but to set up like
Yes.
the handyman or anything like that, you guys are continuing to build that part of it out. So in the
We're
future,
working on it. We're working
Okay.
on it. So I like that you said you can take this out in front of a judge and print it out. All that information from how you met the person through how you vetted them to the lease to how they pay to how you communicate in one spot is available today.
a
Yes.
system of records, you need it.
Yes.
Yes. It
Mm-hmm.
is available today. It is available today. Yes. It is. It
Okay,
is.
Love
fair
that.
enough. It sounds like a great product, and this is something that's been around for a while now. It's not something that's new, correct?
This is not new. This is not new. We have a lot of folks that are taking advantage of this. This is just an opportunity to get more folks aware of it and to also take advantage of it. And like you said, today's topic is about maximizing our investment. Why not come up with a one-stop shop that is available for free? Also, a premium feature if you choose to go down that route for you to engage with very high intent renters. So, yeah, it's not new, but it's not new. It's not new.
Well, Doyin, if it's free, it's for me.
It's free. Look, he said
I
if it's
love
free,
it.
it's
I
for
love
me.
it. I
But it's
love it. I
only
love
free for
it.
landlords. It's
I
only
love
free
it.
for the
I love
landlords.
it.
But for the potential tenants, I can see them finding value in this because they can apply for multiple houses, and not and pay one fee and find where they need to go temporarily until they're prepared to purchase their homes.
I like that,
Absolutely. I
Kiana.
mean, I like that, Kiana, too. I mean, think about it. For every unit most folks go apply to, they're paying a fee for every adult and then going to multiple places all the time, paying a different fee, giving their information to random people that you probably never see. Now you just go to one spot, get that information vetted. Oh, and I didn't mention this. The credit inquiry is a soft one, so it doesn't even hit your score.
Oh, nice. That's great
Yeah,
information.
it's available. It's one time. It's available for 30 days. You can go to as many properties as you choose to. You could do the 3D tour without even leaving your house. You can schedule for when it works for you. Yeah, and it doesn't hit your credit as well too. So yeah.
So could you tell them where to find this on the Zillow app? Because Zillow has so many different features.
Yeah, so if you go to on the web, you could go to Zillow.com, click on the rental icon, and kind of just go down that path, or you can go to the App Store and download the app Zillow Rental Manager (ZRM), and
Hmm.
it's a free app on iOS as well as on Android, and just set up a profile, and you're ready to go.
Let me ask you a question. With this
Yeah.
app, I'm a landlord and I'm looking to find a new market to invest in, right?
Yes.
Can I use this app to kind of help me narrow down from a data perspective what might be a hot city I can go invest in? What's the migration rates of people leaving one place to another? Can we do like research and do due diligence using this app?
Yeah, so either on the web or on the mobile, you can go to, on Zillow Rental, like Zillow Rental Manager on Zillow.com, go to the Zillow Rental Manager section of it, go to the market trends, and just have fun with it. All the information that you talked about as far as market trends, as far as what's happening as relates to the market temperature. You can compare median rent in that location. You can compare price ranges in that location. All of that information is available to you on on Zillow Rental Manager. So yes, you can use all that. You can get all that information as well too.
And you can get that information from the app too. Or is it
I
better
would push
used
you
on the web?
Right.
I would push you to go and do it on the web because you have a larger real estate, larger opportunity. You can see comparisons, city to city, areas near you. I would encourage you to do that on the web because you just get a richer experience on that today.
Perfect.
Makes both sense and sense, Doyin.
Yes. It
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
so much sense. I think that it's a great opportunity for our landlords too and investors. Now they know,
yeah,
okay,
it
what
is.
areas do I want to go to? Where can I maximize my profits? And then they can also use this app to self-manage their investments.
I agree. I agree. You're 100% right in that.
Any parting words before we let you get out of here, Doyin?
Yeah, I think the first piece I would like to push is to encourage everybody to utilize the resources that are available to you for free. Right? You had an opportunity to speak with a real economist. I think as one of I think it was Kiana that talked about that, or maybe Matt the other day, that showed that it is still a good opportunity to invest in real estate. You just have to do it smart. So utilize the resources that are available. Understand that it's just not the cost of acquisition that goes into managing a property. You got to remember, you talked about the sink a little bit, Matt. Like, what is it going to take to maintain that property, right? That the third piece I would like to also leave folks with today is understand when it's good for you to do it yourself, understand when it's good for you to have technology do it to you, and then it gets to a point where you're getting big enough that you want to get a professional to do it for you. So that's where the 3D functionality, the application, the payments, the leases online, those have technology work for you. And then finally, understand your rights as a
Yeah.
landlord and or an investor, and then have understand what the rights are for your tenants as well too. And if you can get one place to do it together, Zillow.com, utilizing Zillow Rental Manager, I say why not? So that would be my last word as we push today.
Well, thank you for dropping by today here on Rants and Gems. You gave us a lot of information. Everybody, drop some gems in the comments for our brother Doyin over here at Zillow. And yeah, this was a lot of good information. I'm definitely going to go do a deep dive on this myself, and I hope others will follow suit and do a deep dive. And if you want to self manage your properties,
Absolutely. I
Awesome.
think it's an
Kiana, man.
incredible tool.
Awesome. Awesome. Kiana, Matt, I appreciate you having me on the show today. Thank you so much.
thank you. I
No, thank
appreciate
you
your
for
time
coming.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was a lot of information,
It's
Miss
a
Watson.
great information. The first thing came to my mind is, I see all these people like what I notice is when people are like, hey, I need a realtor today. I need a realtor today. Most of the time they're looking for someone to help them find some place to rent. And so this is a great resource. I'm gonna start having my admin send out like, you know what? Empower yourself. Go to the
Help
app
yourself, why don't you?
and you can apply for multiple properties at one time and you can find your own rentals because I think it's one of those services that is really kind of becoming you can do it yourself, and to get one soft credit pool and be able to apply with multiple houses. I can see the benefit from the tenant standpoint and from the landlord standpoint. So I really do like this app.
No, I think it's a home run if you are a renter. For the credit pull is huge,
Yes.
and you have multiple options that you can apply for with one credit pull over a 30-day time frame. So I think that's definitely a home run. And from the landlord perspective, like I said, it's a system of record. So now
Yes.
you can use it, and as they develop the app, now you'll be able to set up your handyman and everything like that in the app too, so that way they can get calls and things of that nature. So you keep everything in one system of record, and being organized, especially for bookkeeping purposes, is
Yes.
extremely important. So I'm happy that Zillow has this resource, and I'm happy they came on today to share with our audience, because we have a lot of first timers. We have a lot of house hackers
Yes.
that follow the movement. So we want to be able to provide them resources and tools that can truly help them not just acquire, but maintain home ownership and maintain their wealth. So this was dope.
This was very dope.
Well, this is the last episode of the year, Queen. How you feel?
I feel great, great episode, great way to end it off with our partners at Zillow. I'm looking forward to a little bit of a break. This has been one heck
Just
of
a little bit of a break. We got to get back to work.
Look, these 2 weeks, don't even call me. Don't even call or reach out.
It's officially the season is, let's talk about it after the holidays.
Let's circle back after the holiday. All right. We actually did so much this year. If we really think about it, we basically, really trying to get our bearings with our company. We were filming in London. I started flying to New York every week.
I'm in Wakanda every other week.
And you in Wakanda
Invest fast.
So we
everything.
Fast. And then we finally figured this out. So I really feel good about where we're headed with our podcast. So how about you?
Yeah, I love it. I love the virtual. It makes life easier for both of us. And I'm looking forward for us to do Rants and Gems live experience a couple times next year. Jordana's clapping as we say that. So I'm really looking.
Is she really clapping?
Yeah, she was really clapping, like really clapping. She just was happy as shit right now. But I'm looking forward to just being back in front of the audience with the whole experience, right? With the catered food, the wine, like the multiple different outfit changes, like the whole experience was a vibe when we first started this. So I'm looking forward to doing those live shows again. So you guys stay tuned for that. And those lineups are going to be filled with nothing but certified gem droppers, and also me and Kiana. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the future of Rants and Gems. I'm excited about the future of EYL Network and everything that's happening over here. So yeah, only bigger things to come. The biggest just got bigger, and we're just going to keep getting bigger. That's it.
All right. Well, that's all.
Well, that's all, folks. Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays and all that good stuff. My name is Matt Garland, NMLS number 58700, better known as MG the Mortgage Guy.
And my name is Kiana Watson, license number 317576, better known as the Broker Extraordinaire. And thank you for tuning in to another incredible episode of the Rants and Gems Show.
Peace.